We have seen a lot of long liquidations in the past. We don't see long liquidations at all. We saw one, you guys remember here, the 18th large, long liquidations went on. We've kind of just been in this area where we haven't had too many just yet. Normally we have a lot more short liquidations because that's how the market works in crypto. 90% of orders are longs, not counted by volume, but counted by orders, like each order. So yeah, more people long than short. That's just how it is. So if we do have a solid push down, we're going to see the longs really take a dive. So with shorts as well, the thing is we're really low on shorts. We haven't had a large push to the short liquidation side. Leads me to believe that probably going to see a move here in the next couple of days. Maybe they'll liquidate the longs and the shorts with a large move to the downside. We have to see, but I think it is time for some longs to get liquidated. Maybe they'll bring up price a little bit, liquidate some of these shorts because there are a lot of shorts in right now, but we need to see if the charts can correlate with that. So let's get into what is Bitcoin showing currently. Let me close out of this. So on-chain data not looking too good, showing that, it's not giving us too much of an edge. But now we're going to get into Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin's supply and demand zone? Where are people buying? Where are people selling Bitcoin? People are currently buying Bitcoin in the ranges of 32K 860. Let's get that down. 32,860. Or 31,100 is the demand zone, 28,700. Let's go all the way down to 28,700. All right, there we go. So this is where people have been buying up Bitcoin in the past. We did make it into that zone. We're seeing some buying pressure as of right now on the daily chart. Our demand zone right now is down there, and our supply zone's around 32,860 to around 34,680. It's really important to map this out before you guys do anything in the charts, so you know kind of what range that we are in. It's a pretty large one, but this is the daily chart, just mapping it out just to get a little knowledge on where people are buying, where people are selling as of right now. So now we're going to go into what are the trend showing on the Heikin-Ashi candles. We see that we have strong momentum to the downside. This is a strong support of a downtrend that is strong. Okay, midterm, what is midterm showing? A slight reversal. Okay, we could have a reversal here on the midterm. We could see a reversal if we have a large push to the upside. These candles right here are pointing towards some sort of reversal that could be happening. 1 hour shows that we do have some sort of reversal. We could always come back down. We do need to break out of these key levels that we'll get into now. But yeah, long term though, looking extremely bearish on the trend. Pivot points, we'll go into the pivot points for the daily. Let's throw those on. Yeah, you guys need to be looking at pivot points. I'm going to start stressing the fact of how important they are. Let's go through the weekly ones first, okay? So weekly pivot points are extremely important. All right, let's go to the weekly, even the monthly. All right, so the monthly is showing point of control, which is this green line that I'm going to make real quick, is the main target for where we're showing trends kind of coming off of. You guys see how we've touched it and we broke down from it. Now we're in a downtrend. We will come up to the point of control, and normally we will break down to at least the support 1 after we do reach this point of control. So you have to understand, showing a lot of bearishness with the monthly chart, with this being point 1, support 1. If we look in the past, though, we also have some support 3 here. We're just going to mark these lines down for support and resistance. Really important that you guys have these marked down, as these zones do happen. So you guys can see right here, we wicked down exactly to that level when we did print that off back there. Make these a little skinnier so you guys can see them. All right. There we go. All right, and then the resistance levels that we have is around 41K. I don't see that happening anytime soon, so we'll have to see, but that is a resistance level. If we do break out, we could expect some resistance 1. We hit support 3 on this push down, very, very violent push down. Normally only hits support 1 or support 2. This is extremely violent, and we all know that. But let's go on to the weekly pivot points. They're just supports and resistances. Extremely important, though. Our pivot point for this one is this level right here, which is 33889. We need to see price probably come down to the second sort of support because we already broke through the first one, which would be around 36,500. Let's put that down there. Boom. We also have some support at this too as well. I'm not going to mark that down too many supports. We just know that that's in some sort of range. But yeah, these are helping you kind of figure out where price is moving towards. As you guys can see, when we do have, on the weekly chart, if you guys look at the weekly chart, you can kind of figure out, are we in a bear or bull week, depending on what we do off the pivot point. If we break down from the pivot point, right, it looks like we're going to have a bullish or a bearish week. If we break above it and we have momentum, we're making an uptrend. It looks pretty bullish, right? It's the close of last week showing exactly the levels of resistance from that zone, and it works out fairly accurate, and it's something that you guys need to incorporate in your charts to get some better knowledge on where we actually see these pivot points at. All right, so pivot point right now for the daily is this 31549 zone. We've kind of been playing with this kind of the entire day. Let's go 34919. Okay, there we go. But yeah, we've been playing with this one kind of for the entire day. We also have another resistance up here as well. But we do think that we can break out of 32K. This will be an important level for us to break out of. So extremely important for you guys to understand that. That's kind of the points that we're looking at just based off of daily candle, weekly candle, monthly candle closes. All right, so now we are going to get into the ranges, right? We need to get into ranges. We're going to take this off. We're going to throw on next support and resistance. This is how you guys, this is how I at least approach the charts. All right, did not mean to click that. Boom. All right, let's look at the range that we're currently trading in the short term. We have resistance, yep, at 32K, just where our pivot point is, and we also have a support down here at 3,900. You have to understand, we have a lot of supports. We don't have too many resistances. This could be the fact of this demand zone right here, where people are buying is pretty strong, guys. And we have to take that into consideration. Pretty strong in this demand zone for buying pressure. If we do break below these levels, though, we would have quite a while to go down. Let's go mark some of these levels on the other side that we could catch some support off of. All right, so that's the 28,400. Then we have all the way down here at 24K after we break through these. It's a pretty large drop from supports. Yeah, but the range we are currently trading in on the short term is going to be, what do I have down? 31,260 for support. 30,999 is the second support. And then our resistances are 32K, 32,699. Do we have that one down? Yes, we do, in 32K. So this is the short-term range that we're in currently, and kind of in the middle of it. Okay, we're kind of in the middle of it. Let's put our supports down now. Okay, we also have the 3112. I mean, 3112, which is right there. Yep. All right, so yeah, we're kind of in the middle of this range. We do have some upwards momentum, but nothing too significant. Just made a little bit of a push. Still haven't even made a higher high, so nothing to consider that we're breaking out. All right, so we're going to get into important daily candle closes. Where do we need to see Bitcoin close above or near to be bullish or bearish to be considered? We want to see a bull sort of market if we close above the 32,300 level, which would currently put us, let's see where this is. This would currently put us around 2% for us to get up there. And if we want to break off into the higher levels of upper 30s, the bullish hopium levels, we need to get to around this 4,300 level. I would say to this 40 or 34, 500, 600 level if we do want to see that break above and possibly break out and recover these candles on the other side. But we need volume to increase. We need to see some convolution with volume if we do want to see that happen. All right, long-term EMA. Let's go into the EMA levels to get another sense of trend. EMAs are great to show what trend is doing. We're just going to be using the 21 and the 55. And then we'll use trend lines and channels on the long term. What's the channel look like long term? Downwards, right? We see a downwards channel as of right now. All right, downwards channel on the daily. All right, so downward channel on the daily. We're in the middle of this channel. This is our resistance. This is our support. And yeah, kind of looks like we're in the downwards on this channel on the long term. Let's go into the midterm. Let's see where we're at. Yep, we kind of have a different sort of channel that is forming. All right, this could be considered resistance at this 31K flat zone almost. And yeah, kind of the same support. I could draw that. I'm not trying to draw too many trend lines, so it's easy. And on the hourly, we did make some sort of higher high, but higher low right here and a higher high, but we still didn't really get that higher high right here. We need to see more momentum. The support though held around 312, which is important to see. So downtrends, or the trend is showing down long term. Let's go over MACD long term, momentum long term, so you guys can get an idea how the market's looking. MACD long term is looking bearish. We have the cross. We could come down quite a lot. As you guys see, every time we have a cross in the MACD on the daily, we have some sort of push to the downside. We really haven't seen much yet, but every time we've had a cross, for example, right here we did, but we had this slight push up, still probably going to have another cross down. But yeah, let's go into this cross down, right? Cross down. Normally have a large push to the downside is what we have, and it kind of supports our downtrend theory. We're not trying to, pick something that supports our theory because we're biased. We're just trying to see what it looks like. So I would say MACD is showing momentum to the downside very strongly because we saw the signal. All right, so now we're going to go into volatility. We're going to use Bollinger Bands. Throw some Bollinger Bands up, and let me show you those. Bollinger Bands show the volatility in the charts. I'll be right. I have a whole document for you guys to get the whole how we see today in the charts. Okay, what levels do we need to hit? I have a whole like thing with all of everything in it, so don't worry. I'll be getting to your questions in a second. But when we see this sort of flatness in Bollinger Bands, this means that we're going to have a large move. We haven't had this much flatness on the daily. It shows that things are getting compacted, volatility is down, and we have breakouts when we do get to these flat levels. We haven't been that flat in really the entire bull run. Yeah, we had this level. You could say that was flat. Not really. You could say this level's flat where we broke down. This level's flat where we broke up. As you guys can see, we're extremely low on volume. We actually have the same volume that we did when Bitcoin was 14K back in October. So that's something to take into consideration. But yeah, Bollinger Bands are showing a big move is going to come. They're going to be up or is it going to be down? We're going to have to wait and see, but we do have downwards momentum on most of our indicators there. Now let's go into OBV. Okay, OBV is a volume. There's a difference between volume and volatility. Let's go through on OBV. Let's X out of MACD. We know that's bearish. Let me add an EMA level to OBV. Oops. Adding EMAs to your indicators is pretty important. It's pretty important, just moving averages in general. We'll go change this. Normally have it to the 50, but oops. All right. So we are sort of retesting the MA average, but we kind of have broken down off of it in the past. We haven't been able to stay above it for too long unless we were in this bull market, unless we're going to start another bull market and break out of this downtrend. I do think that volume is going to continue to decrease, and this is going to continue to pan out. I would say all the indicators that we went through so far, besides Bollinger Bands, which is measuring volatility, and we're going to have a breakout or a breakdown soon, are showing bearish. So that's the long term on that. Now let's get into the short term on all the indicators, see what we're seeing on the 1 hour charts. Let's go see what we see on OBV. We see a breakout on OBV. We broke out of this downtrend. We're having a nice breakout, but we do have some divergence in OBV. If you guys look, probably have some divergence here. Let's see if we could break above this level. If we can't break above this level, probably going to have another turn to the downside. We did have a nice breakout on OBV, though. As you guys can see, volume's going up. It is the weekend, though. Now let's get into momentum short term. MACD had a nice cross pushing up to the upside. Can we break out of these upper levels? We'll have to see how high they want to bring us, because we have to consider the support and the resistance levels. Okay, when we're looking at indicators, we need to be looking at resistances and supports. If we are at a support level and we have some low indicators that are turning up, that would be a good time to buy. You guys aren't buying in the middle of the trends. You need to be buying once we're at key supports, key resistances levels, and then get into your orders. Okay, do not buy in the middle of the trends, and you need to be confirming long term as well. This is just short term. All right, so OBV showing breakout, MACD showing breakout a little bit. But we are nearing that resistance level. We could break down off that resistance level. Very, very good possibility of us doing that. All right, so now we're going to go into, we still need to do Bollinger Bands. I do have them on. Yep, we're still looking small in the Bollinger Bands on the hour. As you guys can see, when we get small, boom, we have a breakout to some side. We get smaller, we break out or break down. We'll have to see what happens, but we are nearing a key resistance level. And if we do break above that resistance, we have this other one at 32,700, which is completely important, and we need to pay attention. But the overall sentiment on Bitcoin is possible reversal short term and midterm, but long term bearish ASAF. And these are the ranges. You guys can screenshot this, go put this on your charts. But this is what we're showing, short term. It's actually up as of the time I was recording this, and I do this in the morning. It was showing positive trends, so let me change that. Uptrends. Slight strong. Slight up. See breakout coming. It happens. All right, but yeah, this is what we're seeing on exactly Bitcoin. But let's go back into Bitcoin and kind of go over where would you be looking to buy and sell at this resistance, at this support, whatever volume is showing, whatever the long-term time frames are showing, and also go look at Heikin-Ashi candles to identify trends. You see right here how we have some sort of doji-like candle where we have a wick to the upside and the downside and a really little body on that candle. That's a good sign of a reversal. And we do kind of have a weak trend that's forming, though. It's not extremely strong, but it still is an uptrend. We want to see the bodies of the candles not come to the downside if we want to continue a strong trend. Let me show you an example like this. As you guys can see here, candles like that where we do not have wicks to the opposite direction. Still doesn't mean that we could still have an uptrend, but it's a good hint that we're going to have a strong one if it does. And this looks a little bit weak. We need to break above this resistance right here at 32,130. And then this other one at 32,738 if we do want to have any chance. I am looking... if we do kind of pause out on momentum up here, I will be looking for some sort of shorts around this 32,061 level and this 32,738 level, and then possibly this 33,151 level if we do make it above there, and just going to be taking profits along the supports. So yeah, that's kind of my plan for today. And let's go into Ethereum. What is Ethereum showing? Well, Ethereum has not too many support levels left. For it to break down. On the longer term, we are kind of having this dilemma where we're about to break down a lot if Bitcoin does break down. I can tell you that we will definitely see the 1730 range with ETH. And if Bitcoin does go to, let's say, 25K, we will be looking at a $1,500 ETH. And that is pretty low. If we go to, I wouldn't even say 25K Bitcoin with the relation of ETH, it would actually probably go to around $1,300 to $1,200 just with the relation of it. So this is what we're looking like with Ethereum. We did have a pretty strong break to the downside with Ethereum on the 12-hour. Let's go on the kind of midterm charts. We're just holding this resistance. We break through this resistance that we currently have right here. I would expect some sort of push to, you know, this 2000 level. We do have a lot of resistance right there, so be careful. What is the momentum showing? Yep, we're picking up on momentum, but look how low volume is, guys. This is where you got to be careful in low volume areas. When we have low volume, we always have a large move that occurs after because it's easy to manipulate. Low volume is extremely easy to manipulate. Take that into consideration. So we have slight bullish volume, momentum actually. So normally when you have slight bullish momentum, they will send it to the opposite direction, vice versa with bearish momentum as well. But that's just sometimes what they do just to fake out some people, grab some liquidity, or they're just taking profits. The banks. But yep, on the 1 hour, we kind of broke out of our Bollinger Bands. We are actually having a nice push on the 1 hour, and we're going to get into a few other cryptos. But before we do, yep, that's the resistance around 2000. Let me move that down. We kind of have two of them up there. We need to break above those levels if we really want to hit, you know, these upper levels, which will be around 2137 to around 2073. The way Bitcoin's looking right now, if we do break above that resistance level with Bitcoin, we could see, which is right there, we could see, you know, Ethereum break out. But as of right now, it looks like Bitcoin, you know, it needs more momentum to really push above those levels, and we got to see it. But we do have low volume today, so anything can happen. That's why Sundays or Saturdays or Sundays are not the best times to be trading. If we look at BTCD to look at our altcoins, because we will be getting into altcoins, then we'll be getting into some of your guys' questions after we get into some altcoins after this. But we see that, you know, we're kind of in this little range on the 1 hour. We could break down all the way to this 46 level with BTCD. This is showing, you know, altcoins right now, a few of them are pumping. Okay, a few altcoins are pumping. I wouldn't kind of identify the entire range of BTCD as completely accurate, just because it's all reliant on Bitcoin for the most part, and somewhat of the relation of Bitcoin to altcoins. You could just look at that if you are trading, or you could look at this, doesn't matter. But some regression to the mean could be happening. We could have this little dip around 20, 30, 46, 25. We'll just have to see, but we are at some of a higher, I would say a higher level right here where we do have some support. I mean, we need to see some violent breakout. We've seen violent breakouts at this level in the past. So there's going to definitely be some volatility with BTCD here. So we'll have to see about that though. Total 2 is looking a little bit bearish because we do have this nice support here. Not much more it can go. We're only at $666 billion in market cap for everything, excluding Bitcoin, including Ethereum. So we do have that resistance, and we need to make sure that we're able to break above this. But even though we've been, you know, we've had some things pumped today, for the most part, price really hasn't changed. It's actually, in fact, went down. Interesting, right? Price for altcoins is going down while Bitcoin is kind of up today, right? Kind of up today. It's pretty interesting. So let's go to Sushi. What's Sushi doing? Absolutely popping off. I didn't have time to chart Ethereum and all these other altcoins on this computer. I will do that next time. I'll pre-chart them so you guys can get an idea on what's happening. We are reaching the 200 EMA for Sushi on the 1 hour. On the 15-minute, we totally blew past it. But we are having some resistance around, what is this, 7218. And then we also have some resistance at 7362. But yeah, we have a lot of levels that Sushi needs to break out of if we do want to see that push to the upside. And we have a lot of levels where it's a very, very large drop if Sushi does not sustain it, right? 4%, 6%, and 13%. But Sushi's been really stagnant the past, let's see, the past, I guess, couple weeks, it's been a downtrend. It broke out a downtrend. Be careful trading trend breaks because not a lot of them, perform as good as Sushi did, for example. You could trade a lot of trend breaks, and you got to make sure that coin has the volatility. Yep, trend break, boom, to the upside. But yeah, yet again, you got to make sure, you got to be careful with trend breaks. But at the same time, we do see a lot of levels that Sushi needs to break above to consider it bearish on the long-term side of things. Here's another resistance that we have. Let's put our resistances. 763. And then the support right here, this is on the 4-hour. Support that we have is around 622. But yeah, this is what, June 26th, we came down to around $5 with Sushi. Yeah, we kind of bottomed out where we dipped on May 19th. Interesting. Still looks pretty strong, though, for the most part on Hikanashi. Yep, 7. We're just ranging on there, I guess. Been ranging on there. Yeah, because we do have this upper range, which is our resistances for that upper range, if we do break out, is around 763 to 842, or 854, which is the top of that. Interesting. Okay, but yeah, that's Sushi. It does look like it's dying off in momentum just a little bit, but at the same time, if Bitcoin does break through that resistance level, I can guarantee Sushi will have a nice run up. It is getting a little bit volatile. We still are above the volume line. There's still volume flooding into it, but this is what I do not like about it. When we look at volume, right, and we see some sort of downtrend like this. With the bullish volume, doesn't look too good, as you guys can see here. If we look at volume, look what happened to this volume. Where were we at? Let's go see. Right, we were all the way up here with volume. We had another push, and then we went down, okay? But you need to be looking at volume as we can have, that bearish sort of downtrend in volume, and then, yeah, push down. But yeah, 8XS. This is the meme coin that everyone's been hyping up. This is what people have, it's what people live for here. And we just pulled off the nastiest downtrends of the week, in my opinion. I would say this is extremely volatile. I mean, we know it's volatile, but at the same time, we don't get coins like this too much in the type of market that we're in. We're just kind of at the meme coin season where everyone is just... everyone's just, trying to get that 10x coin. And you guys, everyone can't get a 10x coin. I'm not sure if you know simple math, but with simple math, only so many people could 10x, and a lot more people are going to lose. And that's just as simple as it is. There was a matter of time before this came down. It's not Dogecoin, right? Even Dogecoin came down, guys. Even Dogecoin. By simply looking at the volume, you could have gotten a good idea that we were in a downtrend, like I said, of some volume, right? Some sort of downtrend in volume. And we still kind of are, as you guys can see, right? We're going in a downtrend, right? Lower, kind of same, lower, right? When the hype dies down, volume dies down on the bullish side, and we break through these support levels, right? When we get to a support or a resistance level, and well, especially a resistance, okay, we're at a resistance level, Bitcoin's looking bearish, and we see a downtrend in volume on the 1 hour, the 4 hour, whatever it might be. You can kind of understand if this is a strong, resistance, if it's an important pivotal point. Let's actually throw on the pivotal points for this. Should have had them on. But yeah, if we throw on the pivotal points for this, and we understand exactly, look at how S1 works. Great. S1 works great. But yeah, we need to understand that, we have a bullish trend down in volume. We're probably going to have a breakdown at that resistance or through that support. But if you're in a downtrend, you want to trade with the trend. If you're in an uptrend, you want to trade with the trend. The trend is your friend. So you want to be buying at the bottoms when we are showing bullishness if you want to be the most successful. All right. So with Rune got hacked, everyone. So we're just chilling at the EMA on the 1 hour, right? We're just chilling there. Can't even grab the monthly. Lol. So bearish. But yeah, we don't have too much support or resistance. We do have this 436 to around this 440 zone with Rune. I mean, I would expect maybe we have a push to the 450, but this thing did lose money via they got hacked. So I don't think people feel safe to keep their money in there. Maybe it'll recover like the Titan, I think it was called. Mark Cuban got rug pulled. But yeah, I'm not going to be looking at that. Too much news, too much speculation. Theta Fuel is at the pivotal point right now. It can't hold above the pivotal point. We're losing momentum, and we do have this upper pivotal point on the Hekinashi. It changes, and we do have the support down here. If we do make it to this pivotal point, let's go check if we have some important resistances up there. We'll go check on momentum as well. Yep, we got a resistance right here. We have some sort of resistance right here. You guys can tell if the day is bullish or bearish just based off of pivotal points, by the way. Okay, if we are in an uptrend off a pivotal point, you know that that day is bearish. If we're in a downtrend below it, we know that that day is bearish, right? It's important to understand that as that's how it works. We have support 2 here. Yeah, support 1's all the way down there. So we are pulling back. So the range for, I would say, Theta is around 259 to around 272, which isn't that large. Yeah, volume's getting to some higher levels here. We've seen it break down. Guys, look at this. Okay, let's go look at this drop that we had here. Wow. I think the hype will die down soon enough as we do have these volatile drops, guys. These volatile drops in Theta. But yeah, I would expect, you know, MA has to come up a little bit and then boom, we can drop down through it. Maybe create a little Marina's Trench again, right? But yeah, volume's showing a little bit of, I would say, bearishness because momentum's showing some bearishness as we are about to cross. This is just on the 15-minute. Hourly is showing bullish. Let's see what the 12-hour is showing. Some momentum to the upside, but yet again, we have some important levels to break through. Yep, 15 is showing bearishness, though. We'll go back to Bitcoin. I'm almost done. Got to get through 1 inch next. So I would say Theta looking at kind of bearish if Bitcoin doesn't break that resistance level. We're just looking at Bitcoin for the most part. So we have this resistance at $2.69 for Theta on the 1 hour. We also have the pivotal point right here, which is at $2.03 for the day. And we need to go on the long-term side of things. We have any resistances. We do have a support down at $1.76. It's pretty low for the longer time frames, guys. It's pretty low. Let's see. All right. Yep. But we have a very, very bearish kind of candle pattern right here. This just shows you guys how important the daily opens and closes are. Okay. Look at how this price reacts to the pivotal point. Look how it reacts here, right? Look how it reacts here. You can get some sort of knowledge based off of the pivotal point on the daily every single day. And this is the, you know, if we're in a downtrend, we normally go to the support 1. If we break through support 1, right, and we have momentum, we go to the support 2. You take profit support 1, support 2. You guys are using, you know, other indicators, other clues to kind of, you know, get a sense on if we are bullish or bearish. But yeah, that looks pretty bearish with 1 inch, especially on the Hekinashi candles. We do have the support 2 also, so we do have some support at this 199 zone, which are pretty close to it. But yeah, we need to break out if we really want to see some of that momentum to the upside. And we'll have to see if 1 inch can do that. But most importantly, we'll go back to Bitcoin. I'll go into some of your altcoins. We got to see what Bitcoin's doing. Nice push. Look at guys, right up to the pivotal point. Let's see if it can break through it and hold. We want to wait for candles to close as well. Do not buy candles unless they have closed, okay? You do not buy candles, say it with me, unless they have closed, because they could always reverse back and have fake outs, especially on the weekends. You do not buy candles unless they close, okay? And you're waiting for key levels and, you know, using confluence with the indicators. What's momentum looking like? What is volume, right? We have volume, we have momentum, we have volatility, we have market structure, and you combine those all together. You don't even need to combine those all together. I just want you guys to combine at least 2 together, right? Market structure and then something else, right? Maybe you're just using market structure, momentum, to trade. It's great. But yep, this is what we see with Bitcoin. We're at the pivotal point right now, showing a little bit strong in the Hekinashi. I think we did show some sort of engulfing somewhat. We engulfed like 60% of this candle. Let me throw on some vector candle knowledge so we can figure out where the vector candles are. What do you think of VBP and TrueBit? We'll have to see. I mean, I'm not focused on those coins too much as of right now. I don't have an opinion on them. I would just, I'm going to make a list of coins that I'm going to be focusing on. And they are going to be like a list of the top 10, top 20 coins that are the best, that are going to have the most price action. And they're going to be all backed by great VCs. So they're safe to hold and they have a lot of potential. I think that's a great idea. All right, so vector candle right here on the 4 hour. Let's go on the daily. Not really any vectors, right? 12 hour? Not really. 4 hour? Yep, this is the vector to the downside, but we'll have to see. All right. Let's wait for this to load. All right. Touching the 50 right now, broke down off the 50 as well. We have this huge vector right here that we could recover, but we'll have to see about that. Also have this one on the upside, but still haven't recovered that. We need to break above this resistance, like I said. Still can't break above the 50 as of now, but we need to wait for candles to close. Okay. What else? What else? What do you guys want me to go through? Yep. Sentiment for Bitcoin was on the 1 hour. When we looked at it, showed a short-term reversal, right? We saw a short-term reversal possible. We'll have to see about now. We need to break through this pivotal point, and we need to break through this 32K level if we want a chance. If we want a chance, okay? If not, we're going to continue this downtrend into the descent. But we are in a range. What's a range? Okay. A range is when we have like box, okay? You see this box that we're in? Let me draw that better. All right, we're in a box. We're not in a downtrend completely. Okay, on the macro trend we are, but on the 1 hour, we're just kind of in this little box, right? We have our resistance, we have our supports, and we could draw our support 2 and our resistance 2 here. So we're just in this little range, and it's kind of what I already showed earlier on the screen, which this is, our range. Let's go to short-term range. Ranges we are in. Here's supports. Here's resistances. This is the shorter term one. We need to see Bitcoin do some things. We need to see it break out. Or we need to see it break out off of this support or this supports. Or it can break down from this resistance. Even this pivotal point right here from yesterday as well is still in play. Pivotal points from yesterday, it's actually called the point of control, is indeed valid. It's actually extremely valid. Also have that one right here. As you guys can see, look at how we broke off of this point of control right here. Broke through resistance. We made our way down, and then boom. Right down to the S1 level, which is where you guys take profits most of the time, right? All right, we'll go through Matic. Yep. I mean, I could be bearish. I could be bullish on Bitcoin today, but at the same time, we have our levels. We know what we're going to do. And, there's really there's no reason for you guys to assume to have bias on the market. You just have a plan, okay? Having bias on a market is what gets you wrecked. All right, having bias on a market will get you wrecked. If you're super bullish, you're super bearish, you have the opportunity to be getting wrecked. You could be neutral and you could be playing off a price action, market structure, volume, volatility, and, basically TA. If you want to be a successful trader, you have to be able to, not be one side or the other, or else you're going to get wrecked. So we are going up. Possibly. All right, so it looks like we'll be in this accumulation zone for a few months. Market makers want to test the patience of retailers. No, I think market makers, they just want money, and they're not testing our patience. They're just like, this market isn't bringing in any new money anymore, so I'm going to go back to the stock market with my money, okay, after we make some more moves and we juice it out some more. Then they'll go to the stock market. Then we'll be in a real bear market with low volume. And then they'll buy some coins at the bottom. Don't forget that. But yeah, we do see some support with Sushi, or with Matic, excuse me, here at this 78 level. Let's go to some longer term levels. 74. 74, this is when we dipped on the 23rd. Yeah. Interesting. We have the 68 level. Yeah, I would say right now, Matic's too low volume for me to even be considering looking at it. I want to see more volume, okay? But long term, let's go in the long term because you're probably asking for the long term. Long term, we look pretty bearish, as we are actually on the daily. We are testing. We're testing. So you can see here, I'll make it larger. The 200. If we break above the 200, that's the signifying factor that we are in a downtrend. With Matic, as you can see, bounced off the 200. If we break below it, hold it, probably be in a downtrend for a while. But yet again, Matic revolves around Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin does something bearish, Matic sure as hell will. Okay, we'll go over Pond. Been a while since I looked at Pond. Down 4.95%. Let's see how low Pond is. All right, so how long ago was this? May. Wow, guys, look at this. We are down quite a lot with Pond. Doesn't have other data from the other years, but it's down 80%. This is a project that will survive, right? Grab some at the support, maybe. Actually, I think we'll come a little bit lower than this. Let's see if we have any other past data on Pond. It's a good project. It is a good project. Let's see, Uniswap probably have it. Yeah, here we go. So we're kind of nearing the levels of when they came out. Look at what can happen if you guys buy Pond in the accumulation zone. Nice 12x on that. It'll do more because I believe you could have been staking it for more if you guys bought at those areas. That'd be cool. But yeah, this support, you can maybe dollar cost average into some, but I'd wait to get some to hold long term around the 19 level. 19 cents to around maybe the 30-cent level. We'll have to see. Still, a lot of anticipation. Still can go down, you know, what is that, 50% from where it is now? 20% drop to there. 60 to 70. Yeah, we could do that. It's a small cap. It depends on how many people are staking them. If they do stay flat, if they're accumulating, like right here, it does look like that's a little accumulation with Pond. But I would expect a little bit of a dip down, at least to this 48 cents. If not, you know, this 28 to 32 cent. Why are NFTs doing so well in a weak market? Because FOMO, man. Because people are hopeless. A lot of them are. There's a lot of, there's a lot of people right now that just want to, get their last 10x or make back some of the money via NFT FOMO. And that's kind of what the state of the sentiment is for that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just kind of sad, but it is what it is. It is what it is. 12-hour, yeah, showing a little bit of reversal if we can break out. That'd be nice. Like I said, guys, if we break above this support, we have this support to break out of, but we want to see those strong candles. We want to see candles like this, where we have strong, no wicks to the bottom, right? Strong, we have this wick, but this is just a little mini one because we did have that resistance there. We had that support there, and yeah, that's why we saw that with that, but for the most part, you want to see the strong trends like that. If you're not able to get into one that has a strong trend, so be it. You know, you guys have to understand you have to have a set of rules. Who cares? It doesn't matter if you get into every trade. What matters is that you have successful trades and you're consistent. A lot of you don't understand that just being consistent and understanding that you don't need to trade every single opportunity you get is when you start to get actually successful at trading, is when you create your patience and your mindset of, I need to wait for X, Y, Z, and A, B, C to line up, and then I'll enter a trade, and I'm going to be exactly patient. I'm going to wait for the bottom of the downtrends. I'm going to wait for it to go to the top. I'm going to wait for the candle reversal at a, at a support level, at a major support level, and then I'm going to get into a trade once we show a strong trend and we break out of this resistance. But yeah. All right, let's go into ETC, and then this is going to be the last coin, and we're going to be out of here. Hopefully you guys have, you're having a great Saturday. $40 ETC. ETC, guys. This is the coin that is, I don't know how it's going to survive. I don't know how it's going to survive. I mean, are there, I guess. Grayscale owns some. Guess that's cool. Grayscale did own Bitcoin too. It's not down too much. Yeah, this is a support. $13. We got 18. And we got 32 and 39. These are the supports on the 12-hour. Let's go back to current price. There we go. Let's go see what ETC is doing today. These are the long-term levels that we could reach. Not too much volatility here. Did touch the point of control. Everything's just waiting for Bitcoin, okay? If Bitcoin does break out, you'll see these coins break out. Right? We'll probably see ETC do 5 to 3-ish% run up. If Bitcoin breaks out of its point of control, breaks through its resistance, you'll see all these coins do it that do have volatility. ETC always has pretty decent volatility. We do have buying pressure down here. We do have selling pressure up here. What is this? This is the demand. This is the supply. People sell here. People buy down here. So remember that. And Bitcoin right now, if it takes a little bit of a push to the upside, I can guarantee we'll see this break out of this this zone right here and head towards that resistance one. On the 1 hour, though, let's go look at the 1 hour. Can't get above this dreaded EMA. See about that. We have some resistance above that point of control, which is around 42.56. And yeah, here's the support. Let me put that support in there a little bit better. We'll just say that's the range right now. Let me do this. Boom, boom. Okay, there we go. You guys got a range for ETC. 50 MA is also some resistance. But when, resistance is not a bad thing because have the chance of breaking out if there's enough momentum, if you catch it right. But yeah, kind of in the middle of this range right now. And yeah, not much with ETC. We could say that the middle of the range is down here as well, but just play it safe. I would say it's the weekends. I would play it safe if I were you on the weekend. But yeah, that's going to conclude the stream. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day and you learned something. Just to go reiterate again on Bitcoin before we leave, is going to be, what is Bitcoin looking like? We need to break out of this resistance right here. We need to hold this pivotal point if we want to be bullish, okay? Which is the zones of 31554 and the zone of 32K flat if we want to be bullish. If we actually want to see a move to the downside, we need to have daily candle somewhat close below this 31.2 level. I want to see that happen at least. But we need to see the point of control, right, be underneath, or candles be underneath the point of control, and we need to break through this 3900 support right here. And if we go on the longer time frames for the daily candle closes, we want to see, a close below this 31.2 zone, which is this demand zone. That'd be, pretty bearish if we didn't have that. As my thing is, guys, okay, is downtrend in volume, right? Downtrend in volume. As you guys know, we've had a downtrend in volume. But we're going to see some push to the upside or to the downside here, most likely, in my opinion. I would be preparing for a push to the downside, but at the same time, we could always have a push to the upside. A little fake out is the weekend, but it's important to understand that we are at a point in time where we are squeezing on the Bollinger Bands pretty hard. And it's about time to have a breakout. So I would be prepared for that in the next few days if you guys are going to be trading that. If not, you guys could always trade the longer time frames. Just wait for these major support and resistance zones to come into play for showing, slowing down in momentum at the top of a resistance. Great indicator to short, right? Great indicator to short. If we're at the top of, let's just say, let's go throw this in here. Let's go put the weekly. All right. If we're at the top of the weekly point of control, or we're at a major resistance or support, you guys would be looking to see a breakdown through it, show momentum pushing down. It's easier to look back in the past and realize, oh, I would have shorted there. I would have shorted there. It's called a confirmation bias. You guys cannot be going back in the past and like, oh, I would have traded there. I would have traded there, because when you guys get in the moment, it's a lot harder than you realize to actually follow through with your strategy. You need to have a written strategy, know exactly what you're doing when the time does come. And you need to have A, B, C, D lineup for you to enter a trade. But yep, we are seeing a little bit of bearishness on the 4 hour now. Again, 1 hour, a little bit of a reversal back down. So pay attention to that. We need to see these candles close to get some better confirmation. Never trade an open candle. Wait for them to close, as you will get some volatility that you don't like. Unless you guys are trading the shorter time frames, I would say 1 hour. Don't use candles that aren't closed. Don't trade them. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this episode. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. And I hope you have a great day.